Hello, friends. Welcome to today's football predictions on Betcraft. It's another beautiful Wednesday morning, and we've come once again with our predictions, knowing that lots of games going on across the globe, and we're able to select a few of these games that we look into before bringing it forward for you. All right. Today we'll be looking at some of these matches, and also taking a look at how we fared yesterday. We'll see that yesterday was also another not so wonderful performance. We had three games out of five that actually lived up to expectation. But today we're looking to do better, and we also decided to add a tweak to the dynamics, and we decided to incorporate, splitting these games. All right. Today we'll be splitting these games. So 3 in 1. We'll have 6 games. 3 in 1, and another three follows also. So that's how we're going to run and see how it goes. And in a short while, we'll be looking at these matches one after the other, looking at the recent games that they had, before making our verdict for each of these very games. And we'll ask those of us who are coming across our video for the first time that are yet to subscribe to kindly take our time to hit the subscription button right now so that you don't miss out on our subsequent games that will always come up on this very channel on a daily basis. All right, have you done that? Take our time to do it. Okay. Also, remember to turn the notification bell on so that each time we post a video, that you always receive that notification. Okay, that being said, let's get to the business of today, and we'll be starting with the first match. It is in Italian Serie A. We'll have Empoli who will be fighting out against Inter Milan. And looking at Empoli in the last 6 matches that they had, they've won 2 games out of those 6 recent matches, and they've also had 2 draws as well as 2 losses. But Inter Milan, on the other hand, their way side have actually won 5 games in the last 6 matches that they had, and they've also had 1 draw in those 6 games. They've not lost a single match. And from the home and away perspective, Empoli have actually won 4 games in the last 10 home games that they had. They've also had 4 draws, but have lost 2 games out of the last 10 home matches that they had. The last home match they had was against Napoli. We saw them losing out against Napoli by 1-0 that occasion. And also their away side, Inter Milan, also in the last 10 away games that they had, have actually been able to achieve 4 victories out of the past 10 away games, and the other 6 being a draw. They've not lost a single match, in the past 10 away games that they have so far. Inter is a very big team that we know, and also noting the fact that the last 3 away games that they had saw them winning all 3 away games, and also we know that Inter is actually trailing Napoli with 4 points at the moment, and they will not afford another slip up against sides like Empoli in this very one. So in this very game, we definitely expect to see the Inter Milan side, achieving a result against this very Empoli side. So it is a definite away win in this very one. So away win outrightly, that's what we expect in that very encounter. And then the next game that we have for you today is actually in the Dutch Eredivisie, where we'll have Feyenoord who will be at home against Ajax Amsterdam. Okay, looking at the recent games, both sides, you could see that for Feyenoord, they've actually won 5 out of those 6 recent matches that they had as well. And also Ajax have won 5 games in the last 6 and have had 1 draw. So is Feyenoord winning 5 games in the last 6 and 1 draw. All right, that makes these 2 teams quite even in terms of recent games and recent performances. All right, playing from home, Feyenoord have actually been able to achieve 7 victories, but have lost 2 games out of the last 10 home matches, and also they've had 1 draw. The last home match they had was against FC Twente, and they were able to defeat Twente on that occasion by 2-1. And also looking at Ajax, their away side, out of the last 10 away games that they had, I've seen they produced 6 wins in the last 10 away games. They also had 3 draws as well as 1 loss in the last 10 away games. We could say that Ajax that we've seen this season have actually significantly improved from what we saw last season. Okay, Ajax have actually done so well, and they've been, doing so well in recent times. All right, the last time both teams met, we saw Feyenoord beating this very side by 6-0 on that occasion, and that was last season. But we are seeing a very different, Ajax side this particular season, saying that they're actually, I think a bit higher than Feyenoord in the standings of the Dutch league. And in this very one, we definitely expect to see goals flying on both sides, in that Feyenoord is a team that scores a lot of goals, as well as Ajax scoring a lot of goals. So we do expect to see 3 goals appearing in this very game. So a minimum of over 2.5, that's what value for that very encounter. Okay, and the next game that we have for you, which will conclude the first ticket for today, is actually in Austria Cup, where we have Stripfing will be up against Rapid Vienna. Okay, and for the home side, Striping, they've actually had one draw, as the best result in the last 6 matches that they had. They've also lost 5 games out of those, and looking at the away side, actually they've won 5 games out of the past 6 matches, and the other one being a draw. Not lost any single match in the last 6 matches that they had so far. And when you look at how they fared from home and away perspective, you could see that home side Striping have actually won just a single match in the last 10 home games, and actually they've had 4 draws, but have lost 5 matches. As a matter of fact, the last 3 home games that they had saw them losing all 3. And looking at the away side, you could see that the away side, Rapid Vienna is a very strong side in the league, and they've also actually been able to achieve 5 wins in the last 10 away games that they had, and they've also had 3 draws as well as 2 losses. But we know Rapid Vienna have been doing very well at recent times, and in this very game, it is definitely the home side winning out shortly. That's our fight for that very game, and that concludes the first ticket. And it's time to move to the next ticket, which will also contain another 3 games, and we'll be starting also in Austria Cup. Well, Austria Cup, okay, all right. Sorry, Austria Bundesliga match. We'll have Salzburg will be up against the WSG Tirol. Okay, Salzburg, who have achieved their 2 victories in the last 6 matches. They've also had 3 draws, 3 losses as well as 1 draw in the last 6 matches that they had so far. Salzburg, all right, and Tirol, on the other hand, and the away side of just 1 win, 2 draws, as well as 3 losses in the last 6 matches that they had in recent times. All right, how they fared from home and away, you could see that Salzburg, the home side, have actually managed 6 victories in the last 10 home matches that they had. They've also lost 2 games out of those, and have had 2 draws as well. And looking at the away side, Tirol, in the last 10 away games, have actually seen 5 victories, and also they've lost 5 games out of the past, out of the past 10 away matches. And the last time they met, we saw they playing out a 0-0 draw, but prior to that, we saw Salzburg beating this side from away by 2-0. That was in November last year, and also we could see that the head-to-head proceedings have actually seen Salzburg being quite dominant of this very tie, and in this very one, we definitely expect to see a home win appearing in this very game. So home win, that's our verdict. And now we'll go to the next for today. It is in Portuguese League, actually Portuguese Cup. We'll have a Benfica coming up against Santa Clara. All right, looking at these 2 teams, Benfica also is a team who have seen 5 victories in the last 6 games that they have so far, and have had 1 loss out of those 6 games that they had in recent times. And the away side on Santa Clara have seen 4 wins and 2 losses in the last 6 recent games that they had so far. And taking a look at how these 2 teams have performed from home and away perspective, you can see for Benfica, the home side, they have actually managed to achieve 7 victories from the last 10 home matches that they had, and have lost 2 matches as well, and they've also had 1 draw. Okay, and the last loss was against the Feyenoord in the Continental Cup. All right, when you look at Santa Clara is a very fine team who have actually achieved 8 victories in the last 10 away games, actually losing 2. One of those losses was against Benfica. We saw them losing out to Benfica by 4-1 the last time they met, and Benfica played from home on that occasion. And also Benfica have been quite dominant of the head-to-head meetings for both sides, seeing that Benfica have actually won 9 times out of the past 10 meetings for both sides, and the other one being a draw. So we do expect Benfica to also carry the day, in this very game. So it is the home side to win outrightly in that one as well. Home win. That's our verdict for that very encounter. All right. And that takes us to the last for today. It is in Scotland, in the Scottish Premier League. We'll have Aberdeen, who will be up against the Rangers. Okay, which this match promises to be a cracker, seeing that Aberdeen have actually, we saw them last time in the last league match where they had a victory against the Dundee United, extending their unbeaten run to 21 games unbeaten run. That's quite incredible for the Aberdeen side. They've not lost a single match in the last 21 league games. That's a lot. All right, and okay, looking at the recent games that they had, Aberdeen in the last 6 have actually managed to achieve 5 victories, but have had 1 draw in the last 6 games that they had so far. And the other side, Rangers FC have won 4 games out of the recent 6, but they've also lost 2 out of those recent 6. I know Rangers have been quite average in terms of their form in recent times, and when you look at how these 2 teams fare, in from the home and away perspective, you could see that for Aberdeen in the last 10 home games that they had so far, have seen them winning all 10 home games. They've not lost any, they've not had any draw. It is 100% victory in all the last 10 matches that they had from home. Even from away, we saw them achieving a draw against Celtic, which happened to be the best side in the league. They had a 2-2 draw against Celtic. That to tell you how good this team is. And when you look at Rangers, on the other hand, in the last 10 away games, they've only managed 2 victories from away, and they've also had 3 draws, and they've lost 5 games in the last 10 away games that they have so far. As a matter of fact, the last away game that they played against Kilmarnock saw them losing out against Kilmarnock. Rangers lost out on that occasion by 1-0. And in this very one, we know that the odds favor Rangers. Judging by the head-to-head meetings for both sides, Rangers have actually, won the last meeting, beating this side by 2-1, and also prior to that, we saw them beating Aberdeen again in League Cup. But in this very one, seeing the form of Aberdeen of recent, I don't, in my personal opinion, I do not expect Aberdeen to, lose the very streak that they are on at the moment. So we do expect to see, the home side either winning or drawing this very one. That's what about it. All right, that concludes our predictions for you today on BetCraft. All right, I wish you the very best of luck. Remember to play responsibly. These are football games. Sometimes things that we expect do not happen. Sometimes, all right, but we do expect a very, very wonderful outing for every one of us today. Tomorrow is another day, and we'll be coming up with our predictions. And until then, keep winning.